Surakudi, and I'm into roofing business, like sports infrastructure, stadiums, all that kind of semi-permanent roofing. Quick reference: na Chepauk Stadium and airport has got that white colored roof. I do that, and I do projects all around South India. Thank you.
How does your program go today, Sudan, in Tamla?
Tomorrow 12 noon.
Tomorrow, okay.
Yeah. Time irundha parunga. Very good discussion happening between entrepreneurs and employees. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Ram.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So I'm Ramnathan Arunachalam from Aranmane Siruvayal, Vairavan Koil. I'm completely into IT for last close to 24 years. I've worked for companies like iGate, HSBC, and so many things. Anyway, introductions will be given, I believe.
நீங்க ஸ்பீக்கர் நாங்க இன்ட்ரோ듀ce பண்றோம்ல.
அதான் கேட்டாப்ல சரியாதான்.
சின்ன இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷன் பா இது brief. Yeah, அப்புறம் and whoever is available can please start na introducing.
அண்ணே SP மீனாட்சி அண்ணன், மீனாட்சி சுந்தரம் அண்ணா.
ஹலோ.
எஸ் அண்ணா இன்ட்ரோ듀ce பண்ணிக்கோங்க.
நான் என்னோட பேர் வந்து சுப்பிரமணியன். நான் வந்து ரிட்டையர்டு பேங்க் எம்ப்ளாயி, கண்டனூர் சூரக்குடி கோயில். I am running a BPO company for the banking back office work. ICICI Bank locally we are managing the HDFC Bank in Chennai, and recently we started a online supermarket called the Trades Enterprises LLP, so that I joined this meeting.
Thank you so much. Next in line. Yeah, Ramnath, please call on me.
அண்ணா நாச்சியப்பன் அண்ணன், NCT நாச்சியப்பன்.
கேக்கல மியூட்ல இருக்கு. மியூட்ல இருக்கு, திருப்பி பாரு.
Nachiappan from Kandanur, இங்க அம்பத்தூர்ல residing. So I am into IT sales ல வந்து ஒரு 20 years working experience. So அதை பேஸ் பண்ணி இப்போ லாஸ்ட் 1 year முன்னாடி ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணியிருக்கேன் சிஸ்டம் இன்டகிரேஷன் பிஸ்னஸ். அண்ட் ப்ரிடாமினன்ட்லி ஐ ஆம் பார்ட்னர்ட் வித் டெல். ஸோ அவர் ராம் அவங்க வந்து இன்ஸ்பைரேஷன் போட்டிருக்கும் போது ஐ தாட் எக்ஸ் ஆக்சல் ஆக்சுவலி. ஸோ ஐ வாஸ் வித் ஆக்சல் ஃபார் 7 years. After that I came to CMS and other companies. Now I started in the name of Tritech Info System.
Nice.
So incorporated during October. That's all.
Yes, Nachiappan, you're right. It was earlier known as Axel Frontline.
Yeah, upcountry.
Yeah.
And it's
Purna introduction speech கொடுக்க போறப்பா. Purna introduction speech பா. Purna இப்ப பேச போறப்பா.
Shall we start na? Venkatane?
Yeah. Yes, Ram. Good evening, everybody.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Yeah, so welcome you all for this first Nagartala Chamber of Commerce Entrepreneurship Committee event. So it's an honor to host you all. So this event, this is a mentorship series that the committee has planned, and it is going to be a series of events that will happen throughout this current NCC year. And so this being the first event, we thought we'll have something that will help all kinds of business to scale up. And this is going to be this series is going to be in 2 parts. So this is the first one, and the second one will happen on May 1st, tentatively. So I welcome you all, and I now request Purna to introduce the speaker.
அண்ணனுக்கு ஃபீவரா போச்சு, அதனால நான் போல ஏப்ரல் 4th. அதாவது கண்ணம்மாக்காக்கெல்லாம் இன்விடேஷனே இல்லை.
Oh,
எங்களுக்கு
Respected,
Purna?
yes. Respected President, members and guests, good evening to one and all. It gives me great pleasure in introducing our guest speaker and mentor for this evening's session. To quote Bill Gates, the internet is becoming the town square for the global village of tomorrow. Mr. Ram Arunachalam, a hardcore techie, has over 23 years of experience in the fields of IT strategy, global delivery, product development, automation, and digital transformation. He has contributed as the CTO and the CEO of several companies, including iGate, Global Solutions, eFunds, HSBC, and Data Track Services. He currently heads the IoT and product engineering delivery divisions for the Inspirasis Solutions Limited. The focuses on the solutions based on Industry 4.0 technologies such as RPA, SMAC, DevOps, data science, IoT, and blockchain. Digital transformation of projects for enterprises being his forte. Above all, he is a proud member of our Nagarta Chamber of Commerce. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ram Arunachalam, in spite of his busy schedule, has been kind enough to be a mentor for all those who would choose digital transformation as a career or assist any entrepreneur in implementing relevant technologies to expand their business. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Purna. Thanks for that kind introduction. So, Ram, should I start or should I?
Yes, you can start now.
Okay. So, thanks for that kind introduction. Yeah. So, out of that, I got quite a lot of other passions. Okay. So, I'm just keeping myself occupied during the weekends on those. So, okay. See, let me start. Okay, let me share my screen. 1 second.
Inspirasis.
Yes.
Inspirasis.
Yes, Inspirasis. Yeah.
Can I request everyone to be on mute, please?
Ram, I think you can go and mute everybody other than the speaker.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. 1 second. Okay. Okay. See, digital transformation, as we speak, it is a large ocean actually. Just to start with, I told Ramnath and Muthu, both my juniors in college actually, and thanks to Venkatanan also, he also spoke to me. So I really wanted to start with a simple one, which everybody can adapt to it actually, because it is kind of traveling into the digital transformation journey. So you should be able to start with small things and see the business benefit. Beyond that, you can explore other things. Okay. So I thought this RPA, because digital transformation, RPA is part of digital transformation. As you all know, it is huge. Digital transformation is huge, including IoT. So I will be covering IoT on another session. Today's session is going to be more focused on RPA, which is robotic process automation. So before I start, okay, if you're not able to understand anything, anytime, please stop me. Another thing, I will send this presentation as a PDF to Ramnath, and he will share it with all of you. So, more than taking notes or anything like that, just focus on it. Okay. So I put it in a very layman terms so that you can all understand, which can be applicable, to your businesses and for, new entrepreneurs, some ideas, what kind of services they can provide on RPA. So let me, I'll show you the topics I'm going to cover. So the broad, topic is to transform your business process digitally. I gave this, within 6 weeks. Yes, it's possible. Definitely it's possible through RPA. Hope I'm audible, right? You're all able to hear me, Ramnath?
Yes, Anna.
Okay. So as I said, I'll be sharing this presentation, so no worries, okay? Okay, so the topics I'm going to cover today is, what is robotic process automation? You would have heard about this term, so I really want to make that clear. Then, I mean, explaining the key features, business benefits, and implementation methodologies with some use cases, okay, so that you understand. And, there is a difference between robotic process automation and traditional automation. That you have to understand properly, because automation is not something new. We have been having automations for ages, right? So what is new with RPA? How it is getting differentiated? Okay, so I will be showing that difference. Okay, and also some use cases, RPA use cases on various business functions. Business functions you all know, right? Either be it a HR or accounts department or finance department, various business functions. As I want to highlight this, RPA is applicable to any business function of your company organization. There will be an opportunity. Okay, so as I go through, I will insist on that. Then RPA service offerings, what young entrepreneurs can think through, and also for others to understand, okay, what this particular RPA can, what services can be availed, for your businesses, entrepreneurs, what kind of, service offerings, you can think through. And for people who are looking for to build a career opportunity or a job opportunity, what kind of things you can look for, and mainly, finally, how and where to start. Okay, that is more important. So broadly, I'm going to cover this 5 topics. Okay, so I'll jump into it. Okay, what is robotic process automation? Okay, it's actually a software robot, which is usually referred as bots. Okay, which really, whatever the humans are doing, repeatedly, like, I mean, with large volumes of data, which is being processed, kind of a thing. You will have a big team working on, keying in the data continuously, and it's been a kind of a repetitive, and it's a kind of getting so extended, and it's very time consuming, where there are more of human errors happen, right? So all those can be addressed through RPA. Okay, so please remember this term, bots. Bots are nothing but software robots, okay, which really evaluates and integrates the action of human. As I said, whatever they are keying in, any kind of process, either be it when a new employee joins, or otherwise, any kind of invoice processing, or accounts department, keying in the data. So first and foremost, you have to understand, RPA is not to really take up somebody's job. Okay, that has to be very clear. When you try to implement this in your organization, the reason is many people are afraid. If RPA comes, whether my job will be under threat. Actually, so only because of some such kind of reasons, they were many resources, who's been in the company for more than 10 years or 15 years, they will not show interest in adapting this. So first, they have to be educated, saying that, hey, this is going to be a enabler for you, okay, where it's going to kind of a enabler for your workforce. They have to understand that it is going to really help me out and do better jobs. So a data entry operator can become a data analyst, because they would have been continuously keying in the data. That would have been the work throughout the day, but they know the data, how to analyze and those kind of things. So it's kind of a betterment for your employees, or kind of upgrading their skills, kind of a thing. This RPA will be helping that message has to go very clear to your workforce. When you're trying to implement this, they should feel okay, this particular tool is going to really help me and enable my skills, and do jobs in a better way, in a very efficient way. That's foremost important. Okay, so RPA robots utilize, the user interface, meaning whatever, I mean, the interaction between the human and the computer system, whatever it's being keyed in, okay, and whatever calculations that are being done, especially when some invoice, vendor invoices comes through, some reconciliation happens, all this can be automated, especially exactly mimicking what, earlier we used to do macros. You people might know, right? Macros actually were, especially in the software testing, when they do that, when they do some changes for regression testing, they will use this VB macros, where it will automatically, you can see that, the computer, automatically doing all these entries and stuff like that. So it is a more advanced kind of a thing, robotic process automation is, okay. So they interpret trigger responses and, communicate with other systems. There is no restrictions here, and you don't need to change any of your infrastructure. It can be built over the, your existing infrastructure, when it involves thousands of transactions, okay. So also, when you're doing manually, there are quite a lot of chances for the human errors, So RPA really helps in, bringing in data accuracy, which is, really good actually. Again, when you bring in a data accuracy, what happens is, your, analytics will be better. Then you will have a very good informed decision making. You can bring in a accurate informed decision making when you have a 100% data accuracy. And another feature is available all the time, because if you look at, if you have to put people on shifts and those kind of things, RPA can help 24/7 by 365. When you implement this, you don't need to run in shifts actually, right? Automatically bots will take care of things, So we can also have orchestration, and so those kind of things are there. So it's really will be much helpful on many areas. So as you see it in the right hand side, I've shown some applications of RPA where, initially, just to give you a thought, so that, so that it's not verbose kind of a thing. So you do understand. So that is what I mentioned for data entry and data migrations, rather than doing manual entries and stuff like that, repetitive jobs can be, done by, by this RPA automation. And, developing periodic reports. People might be spending, more time on the spreadsheets and those kind of things, reconciliations. All this can be automated, web scrapings and data management. Quite a lot of data is being gathered, from various different sources, actually, various different formats. All this can be read through, and, any kind of, analytics and those kind of things can be created. And data extractions, okay, from different formats of the files can be done. Then reconciliation activities, which is, reconciling with your GL system, various different systems, every monthly, or, during your financial year ends and those kind of things, all this, in a larger organizations, it's really helpful actually. And payroll management. So all this can be automated. In fact, another use case would be employee onboarding. How many times you have seen, how many people, when a new employee is getting onboarded, request to create their email ID, request to create, issue their access cards, request to issue their business cards, request to create access to SharePoints, so on and so forth. So many things are there. All this can be automated. Just just entering or triggering with one thing. It should automatically do. Do efficient jobs kind of a thing. So as I was mentioning, so it is there are various tools which I will cover later. So it is a configuration of a smart software boards, where it involves high volume and repetitive kind of routine tasks, that are normally performed manually. So it's a low code solution. Anybody can scale up really quick. It replaces a repetitive task, as I mentioned, mimics human actions, and enables a virtual workforce. This is, in addition to you're enabling your workforce itself actually by, these tools are going to help them a lot actually. And sits over your existing IT infrastructure. So no worries on, whether to implement the RPA, do I need to change any infrastructure? No, okay, not required. With whatever you have, we can build over it actually, okay. So just to give you an idea, the RPA market size projection is 8.75 billion by 2024. It has been growing like, if you ask me what is the market now, it is 1.5 billion. Okay. So, you can see the amount of scaling, they are looking at actually, especially during this, pandemic situation, right? This has really gained momentum as part of, many people have prioritized their initiatives on digital transformation, but especially on RPA, because it is an easy win for them. kind of, they can easily automate things. Every company is evaluating automation after this pandemic very seriously. Okay, how they can really automate things. I mean, especially industrial setups. Every company, because they wanted to cover the risk and kind of a thing with all this happening. And also they are looking at efficient ways to do that. They all had this in their list, but it has gained momentum, a priority now, and RPA is one among them in their digital transformation journey. Okay. Yeah. Okay, what are the key features of RPA? So, as I mentioned, so it's technology agnostic. It can work across any legacy systems, ERPs, mainframes, custom applications, desktop application. We can build over that. I said, any system it is there, we don't need to really disturb that. Actually, we can, extract data from there and do things that can be built over that. No changes will be required. So that's what has been mentioned there. So non-intrusive. So it leverages other application softwares to the existing application interface itself. So nothing need to be really built new or something like that, and can be implemented in a matter of days or weeks. That's what our flyers would have carried, like, transform your business processes within 6 weeks. Absolutely possible. We have done that, 4 to 6 weeks of time frame. And all your return on investment, for the licenses, what you will be paying for this, tools, RPA tools, max of, I'll say max of 5 to 6 months. Okay, usually you will get it in 3 months, but immediately your management, or they will be very happy on implementing such solutions, because within, you don't need to wait for a very long time, 4 to 6 weeks. It will be implemented, and within 5 to 6 months you'll see the return on investment. Then it is all benefit for you. And look at the, I'll be showing the business benefit in the next slide. Then you will understand. Actually, scalable and traceable. So how much time it takes for a resource to get trained in RPA? Just 2 weeks. That's it. So I would even say that even women who have taken breaks, or even trying to explore on something new, kind of a thing, this doesn't require any technical knowledge. Okay, only process related thing, because it is all configuration related thing. Any housewife, women taking a break for maternity, or any person who has taken a job break, or finding it difficult to find it. It's very easy. It's very hard actually in the market. I'm also going to give you where to learn and those kind of things. It's easy to learn. Within 2 weeks, you can you will know RPA. Okay, you can definitely start all these configurations and those kind of things. You can create your own bots. Okay, that's what I would say. So, and it's fully auditable. Okay, everything is recorded. Every transaction is recorded. So you will have the audit trail in detail. Okay, what are all the business benefits of RPA? Okay, so increase business process speed. So when you automate things, see, I will give you an example. There was a global service desk internally in our company. We had 6 people. I mean, it will come through an email. It is a common email ID. Through that, customers will be sending some, if there is any issues, these people will take the content of that email and, put in those particular parameters, what are all the required things in one of the tools. And, it was taking hell a lot of time, at least 6 people were working. All this have been completely automated. Reading the email, creating the tickets, allocating to the right teams, all this has been automated. So, just an example how, for this business process speed actually. And we have also done one thing for the Bonfiglioli, it's a Italian company. So it is to calculate the ETA for their pending orders. Meaning, we have to take input from their what is their current stock, what has been ordered, what is the procurement, from the procurement, what when the goods are expected to come. Based on that, quite a lot of calculations were involved. We are able to do it in a 3 weeks time, and we did showcase this in their digital day, which was really appreciated. So anything, anybody can do that. That's what I'm saying. It's not a big deal. Once you explore it, it's so easy actually. So optimizing labor investment, I already mentioned, it is kind of an enabler to your employees your workforce kind of a thing. So whenever it is required, you can start at a very small ones, and then you can scale up. It is not a big bang approach you need to go, because it allows you to check with start with one bot and then scale up. You see the business benefit out of it, and then you can scale up. It is not buying something for 10 lakhs, then it doesn't work actually, so you lost the money. It's not like that. Okay, so it is easily adaptable on the small volumes and those kind of things. Implement for a low hanging fruit, then you see the benefit, slowly roll out actually. That's what I would say. And it improves the auditability, as I mentioned. Like you will have the clear audit trails, enhanced security, and can you hear me? I hope I'm not okay. Yeah, okay. So okay, so maximizing data accuracy 100%. I mentioned, right, it will avoid human errors, and maximizing the availability 24/7 by 360. When nobody needs to be in the office to run the spots, automatically there will be a control room which will take care of everything. Even if there is a error or something like that, alerts can be sent out. So no monitoring or nothing is required. We can have a control room, and it will or control room and automation anywhere, and orchestration in a UI path. I will explain that. So such kind of benefits are there, and improving business process compliance, improving business process. Twice I put, sorry. Improve controls. Control points, you can do that, and improving employee morale, and just a start to your digital transformation journey, where you can slowly accelerate all your initiatives internally. Yeah. So these are some of the business benefits. When during larger implementation, you have more benefits. Okay, methodology, RPA implementation methodology. Now, how we can start with actually? Okay, first, you have to identify processes, low-hanging fruits, where you can really look through for this, kind of automation opportunity. Okay, you have to find out, where kind of more transactional things are being done manually, where you're having some pain points at this point in time, how it can be automated. Feasibility, we have to see, is it possible? For example, I'll tell you, every company will have vendor invoices coming in actually, right? So larger companies, they will have quite a lot of vendor invoice processing. Every vendor will have their own format of invoice, okay, because that's their company invoice. Okay, so in order to process and reconcile and up to the level of payment to them, it takes quite a lot of time. We did one for government of Abu Dhabi. Okay, so where I mean, they were processing thousands and thousands of invoices, so which has been automated actually. Through OCR technology, we are able to scan through the related whatever is the parameters what they gave, and we are able to reconcile and process it with meaning just making sure that their delivery notes also matches. Then we will process through up to the level of bank payments. So it was completely automated. So it's possible. So every first we need to understand the as-is process. What are all the control points? Where is the automation opportunity? Maybe some things we can't automate completely, but partially we can do that. But most of it, it's possible, because all these tools, I'm going to show you now. List out all these tools have 80% of the solutions already predefined and available. Only 20% based on our requirement we need to customize and configure. Okay, so this is what you see here is how we do this actually. How do you decide on whether to go about? We have to do the feasibility analysis, how complex it is. Then we have to work through. We have different sheets for ROI analysis. So that's what I'm saying. Based on the use cases we have worked, nothing has crossed more than 5 to 6 months. Okay, with all these bots will be in the range of it's again I'll explain you what is attended bot or what is unattended bot, so that you understand that properly, because it is based on the size of the company and setup. We will decide whether to go with a attended or unattended bot. Okay. when you go for a larger, when you have multiple bots, then we go for complete designing of this automation. One or two is fine, but when a larger industrial setup and all, it needs complete control rooms, orchestration, all these are required. That time we'll go for a bigger automation design. So this is the maturity model, how we will go through actually. Okay. This is to, please stop me anywhere if you have any questions or anything. Okay. Otherwise you can park it, or you can ask me at the end. I'll be happy to respond. Okay. What to see? Everybody knows about automation, right? Traditional automation, any processes, back-end processes, especially people in IT will know. There will be a nighttime job that will be running, okay, creating something, all this kind of things, okay. So what is the difference? The first row, it completely talks about RPA. And the second, the bottom one is talking about traditional automation, okay. So RPA, as I explained before, it actually follows the user behavior, meaning the interaction between the human and the system. It tracks it and really mimics that, okay. So it's user interface, right? You understand what is user interface, so that it completely captures that. But traditional automation uses API, right? API interfaces, and for integration with other various applications. Here it is human interaction, the UI level kind of a tracking is done. So whatever, manually it is being done. Mainly RPA is for processes which involves which involves manual, interaction. Okay. Okay. On the software side, interacts with, RPA interacts with user interface. So there is no software related limitations here. In traditional automation, you will have software limitations due to APIs and scripts. And TAT, which is turnaround time, okay, is really quick. As I mentioned, 4 to 6 weeks, we can have the solution ready, okay. So very quickly we can implement that. About our the traditional automation, so we have to define everything. As I was saying, in all these tools, RPA tools have almost 80% of the, for many use cases, they have got 80% of the solutions already available. Only we need to configure and those kind of things, okay. And personalization, very high flexibility with RPA, okay, and it can really be integrated with any legacy systems, okay, or email systems and stuff like that. If you have to do, what I'm saying is quickly you can do that. Once you have implemented and if there is a change again, it can be quickly changed, but not in the case of traditional automation. How we have to go to the proper setup, like when you have change control boards and stuff like that, looking for a window of rolling out, all this involves quite a lot of efforts. Yeah. So this is a some comparison between RPA versus traditional automation, so that you understand on layman terms, right? What exactly is that? Okay. Differences. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Sir, can you please move to the previous slide? Can you please reiterate the difference in terms of technology aspect, the first one, with some example? Like, so here, in both the cases, APIs will be used, right?
Yeah. Right.
But how come in RPA it is different, and in traditional approach it is different?
No. Here, what I meant to say was, in traditional automation, we only depend on API. The traditional automation does not capture user interfaces. Okay. So RPA does capture the user interface and it mimics. That's the difference I've mentioned there actually. APIs will be involved. Okay, but traditional automation, it completely depends upon APIs. Okay. So here, that is not required. It captures the whatever manually they are doing, and it mimics that.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I move on? Yeah.
Ram,
Yeah, sure.
it is good if you give with this any one example.
I've got, see, next slide is about the business function RPA use cases, where you can so the common business functions I mentioned here, what are all the use cases you can think through. Okay. In the HR side, it's employee onboarding. I little bit hinted on that, how much time it takes actually. It can be automated. For payroll administrations, employee attendance, recruitment process, resume mining, employee data management. Quite a lot of work is involved here, because they do to manually working on all this, especially accounts and finance. There are quite a lot of use cases on this. Procurement to invoice payment, as I mentioned, vendor invoice processing, where it will involve reconciliation, comparing it to the delivery notes, then up to the payment of bank payments kind of thing can be handled. Reports can be generated, various reports can be generated, claims can be automated, vendor management, all this can be automated on the IT side. These are all, see, this business functions every company will have. That is the reason I've showed you this business functions here. Okay. Otherwise, we might have various different departments. There will be an opportunity in each business functions, to automate things, where it involves more kind of a manual, where it involves a manual effort. Okay. So IT has n number of IT department has n number of opportunity for RP automation. Okay. So because they get quite a lot of tickets, where to segregate and all those kind of things can be automated. Email ID creations and batch processings, password resets, all this can be completely automated. Instead sending a request and it has to go through some approvals, all this can be avoided. The faster processing can be implemented. And in supply chain, inventory management, demand and supply planning, contract management. See, all this involves quite a lot of paperwork, approval process. All this can be completely automated with checking some reconciliations and stuff like that, and moving the process really quick. So it will be case by cases. We have to define. So what is a real business use case? Accordingly, we can work through. On the operation side of it, inventory management, regulatory reporting, many things, they manually look for, reconcile, all those kind of things can be automated. Okay, so these are all just very high level business function RPA use cases. These are all common business functions which is there in every company. And there'll be more to it kind of a thing. Okay. So I will talk about some use cases and give you examples so that you understand with what was the problem, what was done kind of a thing. Okay. So RPA service offerings and career opportunities. Okay. So for people, aspiring entrepreneurs, as well as people looking to build their career in RPA. So what kind of things, areas, where they can get into. If I am starting my service of people running a small IT company or larger ones, if they really wanted to start on something, what are all the areas you can look for? Okay, where you can start, what kind of offerings you can do. You can do RPA consulting, because where many companies, they're in legacy systems. They do not know where to start on digital transformation. So you can really, identify processes which are kind of low-hanging fruits, which they can start with. Then, build an automation roadmap for them and do some POCs. Always it works only with POCs actually. I'll be covering it in the subsequent slides. For POCs, it is free license. So it is, for anybody, for POCs, this some of the tools provide a free licensing for a month or so. So they don't need to spend even a single pie. So they can really make use of that. They will definitely see that result. Then they will give you the bigger chunk of work to you. Okay, so POCs is must actually. When you start on the consulting part of it, even individuals, I'm saying, before whether you start a company or not, you can still get hands-on, play around and create some bots for the small businesses. Your your dad's friend or your dad's company or whomever it is, or for your friend or something. You can create some small bots and see how it works actually, how it can bring in that effectiveness. Okay. The other areas, build end-to-end automation platform, meaning what the previous slide what we have, like, we completely understand what is the as-is process, then, design some control points, where things have to be automated. It doesn't matter to any vertical. As I'm saying, the RPA is applicable for any company, any vertical, any business function. There will be an opportunity where there is, manual, human interaction with the computer system. Always we can automate things. Okay, and uh, complete RPA implementations, designing, architecting, and work. Helping them on infrastructures, development, deployment. Then, on engagements where you will have already some bots running. They would have just started their journey. Then, it will be kind of you can get into a development and a bot development and support services, meaning like, kind of a uh, continuing contract with your customers, where you go on an ongoing engagement model, kind of develop, test, deploy. It will be a continuous kind of things, where you might be and continuously doing some improvements on this bot itself. How, more efficient we can do that. You might be trying on some processes which are not been automated before, but you can do continuous improvements. And testing services can also be provided. These are all broad areas where you can look for, to building your service offerings. Okay, and people who are looking for career opportunities, so for them to understand. Okay, so easily you can scale up. Actually, I will see how and where to get started. Okay, so as I would be sharing this, see, there are many tools. The most, mostly used is Automation Anywhere and UiPath, and the other three are also getting, getting momentum now actually. So Blue Prism is IBM's, and Power Automate is Microsoft's. Automation Anywhere and UiPath, is, used in by most of the customers actually, most organizations. So as I was mentioning, 80% of the solutions will be already available, kind of, what we are looking for. The 20% is the one, where we have to configure based on the use case and, customize things. Okay, we have open source, you can explore it on RPA tools, TaxT and Tag UI and OpenRPA. Okay, all this you can try it out. See, when I mentioned about this automation in your UiPath, you have free training and certification given. I have provided you the link. It will take just 2 weeks for you to learn and get certified. It's that easy. Actually. You don't need to be technical knowledge, especially for. I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Please encourage all your sister, whoever it is at home. You can easily learn and scale up. Actually, with this now with the option of work from home, they can easily build a career on this. Actually, so if they understand the process, working out with the business people, trying to understand the process, where to bring in the controls, automate things, they can easily work through. They will easily adapt to it actually. So it takes only 2 weeks of time for you to learn through, and it's absolutely free. It is very, very detailed training. So I've provided the link actually that you can start there. Within 2 weeks, you can get certified in one of those Automation Anywhere or UiPath. You will understand how it works, kind of a thing. So yeah, for business process identification, for people, for entrepreneurs, already entrepreneurs, where to start? You have to address the low hanging fruits. At least identify process in accounts department, finance department, or where, especially where it involves quite a lot of transactions. And also you're finding a pain point. It takes quite a lot of time to reconcile all those kind of things. Identify that area and try to implement first for one of those to address those issues. Then you will understand the business benefit out of it before going on a big bang approach. Because once you really experience the the benefit of RPA automation, definitely slowly you can roll out to the other business functions, because it will be so accurate, and it will really save quite a lot of time. You can use your workforce for better jobs. That's what I would say. So Automation Anywhere and UiPath has got community editions. which you can, anybody can, any individual can, really download and use it. So bot agents and control rooms. See, when you have community editions, the control rooms will be on their side, especially for automation anywhere. They will keep control of it actually. Only when we go for licensed one, it will be on our private cloud. Otherwise, when you use our community editions, they will be having it. Where this bot agents, this is especially for the technical people now, for them to understand. So the bot agents will be seeking to control room to get the required, what are all the functionality that are required. Actually, it will be predefined. That is what there is a job called bot creator. So where everything will be already defined, all the algorithms, everything will be there. We have to pick up that. Sometimes it will be hard to find out a particular term what we are looking for to make the calculations and stuff like that. It might be in a different terminology. So as you start using it, you'll clearly understand that. So it is a quick one. The studio and orchestration is with UiPath. For both of this, for both Automation Anywhere and UiPath, you will need bot developer licenses, especially. See, when you're really practicing, or just playing around, it's okay to use the community editions. But when you're trying to roll out to a production, for example, let's say XYZ company can still use a community edition, okay, but only for POC purpose, okay. Once the proof of concept is done, and when everything gets a go out from the business, and if that has to be rolled out to production, then a licensed version has to be purchased. There is something called attended and unattended bots, okay. That needs to be properly understood. Attended bots are where it requires every day morning to start the bot, okay, where only once in a day you have to start it. Kind of okay, 9 o'clock every day morning, 9 o'clock I come and click that icon, it will start running. Then you can stop it actually. But unattended bot is recommended for processes where you have humongous volume actually, and many processes are getting automated. That time you will go for unattended bots. It is little expensive, okay. Attended bots are much cheaper, but unattended bots, we recommend to customers based on volumes, okay, volumes and how many processes they are trying to automate. You will understand all these terminologies very clearly when you go through that the session with the Automation Anywhere or UiPath, or you can even explore Blue Prism and Pega. Okay, Power Automate is also free. So all this you can explore. So attended bot usually for a smaller processes, okay, where the company is trying to explore things. We would recommend going with attended bots because it's much cheaper. So you will have the business benefit. And for the largest setup of industrial setups, or larger companies, then there is more bots, for different business functions are involved. Then we will recommend for unattended bots, and also you will have this control rooms and orchestration automatically to do everything. So only one admin would be required just to make sure that everything is going fine. Otherwise, all this can be automated. So this is, this I would share it with you. Please explore. There are quite a lot of use cases also defined by this Automation Anywhere and UiPath. It would be similar to use cases your businesses might be looking at. You can leverage that solution. You can leverage that solution. Over that you can build. So you don't need to reinvent the wheel. See, because these guys are working across the world for every use case. Almost they have a solution actually. So only some customizations we have to do. So it's very easy to adapt and implement. Okay, I will show you now. Hang on. So Ram, I will take only 5 more minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I got.
Then we'll have the question and answer session.
Yeah, just 5 minutes. Okay, because some people were asking. See, okay, I will go through a couple of use cases. Okay, so this is invoice processing. Okay, so what was the challenge? So since no customer name is mentioned, I'm showcasing my company thing. Okay, so okay, so manually they download invoices from email and data entry. I mean, they do a data entry into the internal system for invoice processing. It's a very they get from thousands of vendors actually, which is consuming quite a lot of human effort. And they were looking for to automate that process. So we worked out a solution where our RPA bot will extracts the content from the email attachments, and it automatically does the data entry into the system, as well as it will do the reconciliation. Okay, so in the vendor management system also, they were doing quite a lot of manual effort was involved, where our RPA solution was given to that to validate the actual invoices and initiate subsequent process, meaning up to the level of bank payments and those kind of things. So you can see that 95% reduction in turnaround time. Okay, we have to really calculate all this, and 95% reduction in manual effort with 100% data accuracy on that. So this is for one of the vendor invoice processing, and this is for HR recruitment process. So this is resume mining and filtering, where HR they receive quite a lot of profiles when they work on larger requirements. They sometimes they miss out the proper to shortlist a proper profile, and with when as you people might understand, Naukri, some of our profiles, even when you send to HR, they don't even look at it, especially in Naukri and all, for every requirement, because they got an automated process, where automatically when somebody puts a profile, they say that, if you see this keyword, automatically apply for the job. So, I mean, thousands and thousands of resumes go for one position. Okay. It's very difficult for HRs to mine this actually based on keywords and filter it, those kind of things, because automatically the candidates also pay to Naukri, and I'm just using Naukri as an example, but many sites like that, I mean, they automatically when they see that word, okay, DevOps, immediately apply for it. They don't even look for the exact skill set those are required actually. So that was the issue kind of a thing, and a bot was created to really get the right profiles, then because otherwise imagine going through 2000 profiles for one position, which takes quite a lot of time, right? Okay, this is service ticket management, where I mentioned it's a global service desk. We were getting it in email, so it is kind of a repetitive job. So we created a bot which will keep on monitoring. This really took off, meaning this really helped out. Six people's work was automated with this service ticket management use case. So which really helped. Actually, now they are all doing better jobs, not just doing the data entry kind of a thing. This is a perfect example for enabling your workforce to do better jobs actually. So now it automatically captures information from the email. It puts into the ticketing system, and it also allocates to the proper teams who have to address it actually. It is more effective. So GST reconciliation. Okay. So finance team really want to make sure that all this sales purchases are wrong or repeatedly reported in the GST returns. They want to really reconcile all this data from suppliers and customers on a regular basis. So a bot was created to really it was a human effort was more actually. So a bot was created really to validate with respect to this GST portal data, and do the reconciliation 100% accuracy. So you can see that all this as we mentioned. The reduction in turnaround times of these processes, and manual efforts and accuracy. So we got quite a lot of use cases like this. I can go on many things actually. So with that, so that's all I have, Ram. So I mean, as you can see, I'll project it. So this is my coordinates. You can note down, and I've also given my number and my availability. So anytime on those timings I mentioned, you can always reach out to me, and I'm open for questions now. Yeah.
Then thank you, Anand.
Yeah.
It was highly informative for many, I'm sure. So let's go to question answer session. So anyone has a question, please go ahead.
Good evening, Ram. This is Sabari Shankar. Yeah, we do software for retail outlets and distributors.
Okay.
So it was a very interesting presentation. In fact, thanks to the entrepreneurship committee, been thinking about RPA and have read about automation anywhere a couple of times, but did not know whom to ask and where to.
It's very very easy to
Yeah.
adapt. You'll appreciate it, once you start exploring it actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just 2 weeks. You can have your resource skill set. I've trained so many freshers. Freshers scale up very quickly.
Okay.
You can take a good fresher, and they will be up to speed. Within a month's time. They will be up to speed.
Okay.
So
Okay. Okay.
it's, easily they will learn. Yeah, and
Okay.
this I will share this as a PDF document to Ramnath.
Sure.
You can share it. So you can have your resource also cross skill. Okay, even your existing resources, because it is easy to scale up actually, right? And it is a free of cost, and they also provide a free certification. I was mentioning, right?
Okay. Okay.
All this, you can it's
a lot of information you've shared today. I mean, it was an eye opener. Yeah.
Okay. Sure,
I didn't know that. I was only aware of automation anywhere and UiPath. There are so many different tools.
Yeah, many things have come. Even Power Automate, I think currently they're giving for free because they really missed the bus. Microsoft has come up with this Power Automate. Okay, and we have these open sources that can also be used. But the most famous is widely used is Automation Anywhere and UiPath.
Who uses?
Automation Anywhere and UiPath is being used by many customers. Yeah.
Many customers. All right, great. Thanks for the presentation. It was a great help. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Abhi. Thank you.
Ram, this is Thiru here.
Yes, Thiruna.
Yeah, can you give some kind of a cost? It was really good actually, but can you give some kind of a cost idea? That how much is the licensing cost or some kind of implementation cost?
As I mentioned, for POCs, you can do it free. Okay, if they give this community edition, you can use it. And for when you're using when you're working out for your customers also, in their premises, if you have to implement for the POC, that time also they give it for free. Only when you're rolling out to production. Okay, to answer your question, unattended bots will be around 5 to 6 lakhs. Okay, attended bots will be around 1.25 to 2 lakhs. That's it. Okay.
And to whom you have to pay the license fee? Is it Microsoft?
No. இது வந்துட்டு எப்படி பாத்தீங்கன்னா UiPath டைரக்டா பே. ஒவ்வொரு கம்பெனியும் வேற கம்பெனி. ஓகே, இப்போ நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஆட்டோமேஷன் எனிவேர் இஸ் a separate company, UiPath is a separate company, Blue Prism is IBM's, Pega is different actually. So directly pay to them, because sometimes they will have a strategy in India to இப்போ இதுல பாத்தீங்கன்னா இந்தியால வந்து UiPath வந்து will always work with through Ingram. Okay, அவங்க மூலமா தான் நம்ம போயிட்டு லைசன்ஸ் இது பண்ண முடியும். So then if you have some benefits with Ingram, you can also get some discounts out of it. So usually எப்படி பேக்கேஜ் பண்ணிருப்பாங்கன்னா, you have to get one bot developer license, one control room. இப்படி பேக்கேஜாக தான் வச்சிருப்பாங்க. அதை we have to really negotiate actually how we really want ன்னு சொல்லிட்டு. பட் இனிஷியலி பிஓசி ட்ரை பண்ணுறதுக்குலாம் நீங்கள் ஃப்ரீயாக இது பண்ணிக்கலாம். பட் வந்து நம்ம இன்க்ளூடிங் இன்டர்னல் நம்ம கம்பெனிக்கு இன்டர்னல் நீங்கள் வந்து அதை ப்ரொடக்ஷன் மூவ் பண்ணால் கூட, இப்போ நிறைய இது நாங்கள் உள்ள வந்து ஒரு இன்டர்னலாக வந்து ஆட்டோமேஷன் ஃபேக்ட்ரின்னு போட்டு எங்களோட ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஹவு வி groomed up our team is having automate things inside our company, making them experienced. That's a way to start about it, right? We did that. When அது கூட நாங்கள் ப்ரொடக்ஷன் மூவ் பண்ணும்போது we have to get licenses. That's licenses are required when you move to production system. But if you, as I said, initially you can go for attended bots. Okay, attended bots நீங்க போலாம் actually. அது வந்துட்டு ஆனா again all this costs are yearly. Whatever I'm saying is annually you have to renew. They got that model only. And
So it's a licensing per annum. Licensing per annum.
Per annum license. ஆமா. நீங்க POC-க்குலாம் ஃப்ரீயாவே அவனே வந்து கஸ்டமருக்கு வந்துட்டு நீங்க கஸ்டமர் சைட்ல கூட போறதுக்கு கொடுப்பான், ஃப்ரீயா கொடுப்பான். அவன் சைட்ல போய் நம்ம ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணோம்னா அதுக்கும் லைசன்ஸ் கொடுப்பான். தேர் ஆர் மோர் இன்டெலிஜென்ட் பாட்ஸ் அண்ட் ஆல் இஸ் தேர். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் இந்த இன்வாய்ஸ் ப்ராசஸிங்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஓசிஆர் டெக்னாலஜிலாம் இன்வால்வ் ஆகுது. அதெல்லாம் வந்து ஐக்யூ பாட்ஸ்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஆக்சுவலா அந்த ஐக்யூ பாட்ஸ்க்குள்ள லைசன்ஸ் கூட ஃப்ரீயா கொடுப்பான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் 1 மந்த்துக்கு நம்ம பிஓசி பண்றதுக்குலாம். பட் we have to let them know it's really they attract people to adapt their solution. That is what if you look at this training, certification and all, he's giving it free. He's giving it free actually. Easily scale up.
More number of people come to him, that is good for him.
Yes. That's a model. And another thing is, please understand, all these guys don't go directly and sell it to the end customer. They will sign up with companies and work through only partners. The automation anywhere, rumba smart move, because we will have the customer base. They really transfer that risk of hunting for opportunities, and they give a kind of percentage to us. If you really get the business right, because for them, when you go for unattended or attended bots, they will go for more number of licenses. Then it is a benefit for them, and it is easy for them. Our sales will work it out, and we work out the opportunity. For them, it is just a license, right? So,
yeah. Anybody else with questions? Okay, I have a question. Like for people like us who are into manufacturing and trading, so inventory management becomes a big challenge actually. So for example, if you grocery business or if in case it's all high value items, so tracking the inventory becomes a challenging task. So like practically how does this technology plays a role?
Inventory management, wherever the manual efforts are involved, we can study the process and try to automate to the best possible. Okay, the many things you might be maintaining it in kind of manual entry or அந்த மாதிரிலாம் இருக்கும். அதெல்லாம் அப்படியே automate பண்ணிடலாம். See the information you get it. See there is another view to it actually. Hope many people, especially in IT people, you might know something called low code tools. Okay, so that is the next big thing that is coming up. Okay, you will see it, you will hear this very largely very soon actually. Low code tools and RPA will go together, kind of quick building up a portal or something like that. So, suppose you might not have anything for the inventory management, but if you want to build a very quick portal, kind of just 2 days your thing is ready. Okay, you have to define it, define the flow, automatically everything will be created. 2 days. So quite a lot of things are happening on those areas also. It will go hand in hand with RPA and it will go hand in hand with RPA. So processes, to answer your question, manual processes which are currently being done, either be it putting an entry into the system, or even for the ones you might be maintaining a hard copy kind of a thing, all this can be automated.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, sir, I have. Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, sir. Sir, this is Kamleshwar. I'm doing my final year of my graduation. So I have a doubt in your company. So these bots are being developed by you, or it is being you get a license from these companies, mentioned companies like IBM, those things, and you customize it, or you build your own bot.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay. So these data science things, this ML, those things, do you guys do it, or like you get a licensing from those company and customize it?
Yeah. See, as I mentioned, all these are RPA tools. 80% of the functionalities what we are looking for will be, most of the time it will be available. It is not, bots have to be created by us only. We have to create the bots. See, to answer your question, functionalities will be available. We have to really configure the functionalities that is required to create the bot. Okay. So you don't need to really write code and all kind of a thing. So all this functions, for example, fetch data from Excel, fetch data from email. All these functionalities are already there. Okay, you have to go and configure that alone. You know, from where it has to fetch. So they have defined all these functionalities. You can leverage that, but you know, on the ones which does not have, only for those you know, we have to do our we have to build it. Otherwise, you know, most of the things are configurable. We have to, based on our use case and requirement, we have to do. So bots only we have to create. Only the functionalities will be available.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked this question because you showed lots of use cases. So like applying it in various domains, it is really a tedious process to do. But like as you showed, it's being applied to different domains, etc. So that is why I asked this.
I will tell you, even for hospitals we are doing. Hospitals also we are doing. Okay, the use cases I'll tell you for hospitals. You know, all patient information management. Okay, all this patient once they get into the hospital, you know, all this information management, all this we are automating.
Okay.
So, and also there is something called third party. You people might know this term. Third party is, you know, nothing but processing insurance claims in hospitals. It is a very tedious job. So that also we are automating. Okay. So they call it as third party. Just explore that. Third party in hospitals. Okay, which means that, you know, it is insurance claims. Anyway, before I forget, I really want to thank all the NCC members, you know, for giving this opportunity, because initially I didn't mention this. You know, thanks a lot for, you know, allowing me to present this. Thanks to Ramnath and, you know, all of Venkatanan and Muthu. Muthu is not here. Huh? Muthu, I think
Muthu is not here.
Okay. I really wanted to thank. So, any other questions I can take up? And,
Anand, good evening. Good evening. My name is Veerappan.
Yes, Veerappan.
Anabo, actually, we are into a trading paper distributor. Our volume is not that much big, in the sense we receive around 50 purchase bills, and sales we are doing directly with the tally. So to capture the 50 invoices in a mail and to add it in the tally. So is it possible, and will it be on the cost front, will it be workable?
அதான் சொல்றேன் உங்களுக்கு. அதாவது எப்பவுமே வந்து இது ஓகே, ஐ அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் யுவர் கொஸ்டின். ரொம்ப லார்ஜ் நம்பர் ஆஃப் வால்யூம்ஸ் இருக்கும்போது தான் உங்களுக்கு வந்து அது ஒரு ரிட்டர்ன் ஆன் இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட் வில் பி எஃபெக்டிவ். ஏன்னா நமக்கு பாட் காஸ்ட் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, இப்போ இதுக்கு நீங்கள் சொல்கிற கேஸுக்கு நீங்கள் யூ கேன் யூஸ் அட்டெண்டட் பாட் இட் செல்ஃப். You have to evaluate, you know, for how many people. See, நீங்க 50 transaction தான் சொல்றீங்க. நீங்க you have to evaluate, you know, your resource cost on this. How much time they are spending on it. How much of a manual error is coming பார்க்கணும். இப்போ அதெல்லாம் ஒர்த்தா இருந்துச்சுன்னா நீங்கள் இந்த 1.25 lakhs ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணுறதுல தப்பே கிடையாது. ஓகே, உங்களுக்கு பெர் ஆனம் அவ்வளோதானே ஆக போகுது. பட் அது வந்து இஃப் யூ கேன் பிரிங் அக்யூரசி அந்த மாதிரிலாம் நீங்கள் சொன்ன யூஸ் கேஸ் கண்டிப்பாக பண்ண முடியும், அதில் டவுட்டே இல்லை. ஆனால் வந்து காஸ்ட் பெர்ஸ்பெக்டிவ் சொல்கிறேன். இப்போ வந்துட்டு நீங்க வந்து நம்ம ஐ மீன் இந்த மாதிரி பண்றதுக்கு வந்துட்டு 2 பேர் வச்சிருக்கீங்களா, 3 பேர் வச்சிருக்கீங்கன்னு தெரியல. மேபி ஒரு 15,000 20,000 கூட சேலரி போட்டு வச்சிருக்கீங்க. அதுக்கு கேக்குறேன். அதாவது உங்களுக்கு வந்து இந்த மாதிரி
ஓகே புரியுது. ஓகே, தேங்க்ஸ்.
Ram, அந்த மாதிரி இதுக்கு வந்து there is no smaller thing, and that means the only 1.5 lakhs is the minimum cost.
அப்படி இல்லைண்ணே, அதாவது அதுக்கு தான் நான் வந்து I have also given the option of நான் அந்த இது உங்களுக்கு திருப்பி காட்டுறேன். ஒரு நிமிஷம் இருங்க.
பவர் ஆட்டோமேஷன்,
ஓபன் சோர்ஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். நீங்க
ஓபன் சோர்ஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணா லைசென்ஸ் வேண்டியது இல்ல.
தேவையில்லை. நீங்க only thing is, you know, you have to wet it down. அதுவும் ஒர்க் ஆகும். ஒன்னு ஓபன் RPA யூஸ் பண்ணுங்க. இப்போ வீரப்பன் நீங்க கூட அந்த ஓபன் RPA எக்ஸ்ப்ளோர் பண்ணலாம். ஓபன் RPA is a good tool actually. It's அந்த மாதிரி இதுக்கு யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். இதெல்லாம் வந்துட்டு நான் சொல்றது வந்து ஸ்டாண்டர்டைஸ்டு ஒன்ஸ். நம்ம வந்துட்டு அதனால ரெக்கமெண்ட் பண்றது வந்து UiPath ஆர் ஆட்டோமேஷன் எனிவேர். பட் நீங்க ஓப்பன் சோர்ஸும் யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். ஓப்பன் சோர்ஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணீங்கன்னா உங்களை இந்த மாதிரி சின்ன ப்ராசஸ்லாம் டெஃபினெட்லி ஒர்க் அவுட் ஆகும்.
அதுக்கு வந்து only you need to have a talent actually to do that. Actually you need to have a person who understands that,
ரொம்ப
configures that.
இல்ல நான் சொல்றேன் ரொம்ப ஈஸி. நான் சொல்றேன் 2 வீக்ஸ்ல they can scale up easily. நான் வந்து இந்த என்னோட இந்த டிபார்ட்மெண்ட் வந்து அப்போ எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் ஆளே எடுக்க மாட்டேன், ஒன்லி ஃப்ரெஷர் தான் எடுப்பேன். ஏன்னா வந்து எனக்கு காஸ்ட் சேவிங்ஸ் வரும், அதில் ஈஸிலி லேர்ன் பண்ணிடுறாங்க. ஆக்சுவலாக இப்போ வெரி யூனோ தட் இஸ் வாட் ஐ வாஸ் ஆஸ்கிங் டுடே எனி ஃப்ரெஷர் ஆர் காலேஜ் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் ஆர் கமிங் பிகாஸ் யூனோ தே கிராப் ரியலி குவிக். ஸோ நம்ம அந்த அப்படியே இந்த ட்ரெடிஷ்னலாக வந்து இருந்துகிட்டே இருப்பாங்க, அவங்க தான் வந்து கற்றுக்க மாட்டாங்க. இவங்கெல்லாம் வந்து ஜஸ்ட் 2 வீக்ஸ் தான் கடன்னு வந்து எல்லாம் பண்ணிடுறாங்க. ஸோ அதனால நான் உங்களுக்கு நீங்க பிகாஸ் யூ ஹேவ் திஸ் FBT நீங்களாம் ஈஸியா இந்த லைன்ல இது பண்ணலாம். ஃப்ரெஷர் எடுத்து பண்ணுங்க, ஃப்ரெஷர் எடுத்து பண்ணுங்க, அவ்வளவு ரெக்குயர்மெண்ட் இருக்கு. ஆமா
ராம், இந்த சோலார் இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில இதுக்கு நிறைய அப்ளிகேஷன்ஸ் இருக்குமோ?
இருக்குண்ணா. அதாவது சோலார் இண்டஸ்ட்ரிக்கு வந்து இருக்கும். அதாவது நான் சொன்ன மாதிரி எல்லா கம்பெனியும் இந்த ஆல் திஸ் பிசினஸ் ஃபங்க்ஷன்ஸ் ஆர் தேர். வி டூ இந்த சோலார் இண்டஸ்ட்ரிலாம் என்ன பண்ணுவோம்னா இண்டஸ்ட்ரியல் ஐஓடியோட இதையும் சேர்த்து பிச் பண்ணுவோம். ஓகே, வேற இந்த ஹெல்த் ஆஃப் த சோலார் சிஸ்டம்ஸ்லாம் மானிட்டர் பண்றது வந்து ரிமோட்லி டு மானிட்டர், ரைட்? ஆல் த சிஸ்டம்ஸ் வி யூசிங் சென்சார்ஸ் டிவைசஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணி ஐஓடி நான் அதை அடுத்த செஷன்ல கவர் பண்றேன். ஸோ அதெல்லாம் வந்து பண்றோம். சோலார் சிஸ்டம்லாம் ரிமோட்லி மானிட்டர் பண்றோம். அதோட சேர்த்து அவங்களோட பிசினஸ் ஃபங்க்ஷனுக்கு இதை பிச்சிங் பண்ணுவோம்.
So nice. And then any further questions from anyone? I think we're done. So now I welcome Natarajan Anand to give the vote of thanks.
அனைவருக்கும் இனிய மாலை வணக்கம். நான் தமிழ்ல தான் சொல்லலாம்னு நினைச்சேன், ஆனா எல்லாருமே இங்கிலீஷ்ல பேசிட்டீங்க.
இல்ல நல்லா தமிழ்ல
சொல்லுங்க, இதுல என்ன இருக்கு?
ஆமாண்ணா தமிழ்ல.
ஓகே,
நம்ம என்ன
இந்த ஒரு ஈவினிங்கை அருமையான ஈவினிங்கா மாத்தின ராம அருணாச்சலத்துக்கு எங்களுடைய நெஞ்சார்ந்த நன்றி. அதாவது இந்த ரொபோட்டிக் ப்ராசஸ் ஆட்டோமேஷன்ங்கிறது ஒரு பெரிய கடல் மாதிரி தெரியுது. அந்த கடல்ல மீன் முடித்தவர்களும் இருக்கிறாங்க, மூச்சடக்கி முத்தெடுத்தவர்களும் இருக்கிறார்கள். ஆனா என்னை போன்றவர்கள் சில பேர் காலை நினைச்சிட்டு வந்துடுவாங்க. அப்படி கால் நினைச்சவங்களுக்கு நிறைய இன்ஃபர்மேஷனும் டிப்ஸும் கொடுத்துருக்கிறீங்க, எங்களுக்கு நிறைய யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும். நாங்க இதை நிறைய பேருக்கு சொல்றதுக்கு வாய்ப்பா இருந்தது. மிக்க நன்றி உங்களோட வருகைக்கு. NCC மெம்பர்ஸ்க்கு ரொம்ப தேங்க்ஸ்.
So yeah, anytime please reach out to me. Whatever help I can do it, you know, I can help through. So anytime, especially I'm interested youngsters. Okay, if more
next session கொண்டு வந்துடலானே. ஆனா யங்ஸ்டர்ஸ்லாம் வந்து கால் பண்ணா கமிட் பண்ண மாட்டேங்கறாங்க.
இல்ல நான் என்ன சொல்றேன், நீங்க வந்து நான் ஷேர் பண்ற இந்த PDF ஃபைல வர்றாங்க இன்னைக்கு ஜாயின் பண்ணாங்களோ இல்லையோ ப்ளீஸ் ஷேர் இட். ஓகே,
yes we'll do it.
Let them get benefited. Okay, அதுக்காக சொல்றேன்.
So இன்னைக்கு actually ஸ்பெஷலா NCC S members வந்து we call them right from the beginning. So நிறைய பேர் சொன்ன ஆன்சர் என்னன்னா வந்து லைக் yeah I'm aware of it, if time permits I'll join அப்படினா சொல்றாங்க.
இல்ல நீங்க
ஜாயின் பண்ண மாட்டேங்கறாங்க.
people நான் என்ன சொல்றேன், விமன் கூட கொடுங்க. ஏன்னா அவங்களுக்கு சொல்லுங்க, அந்த ஆட்சி ஏதாவது அந்த இது வச்சிருந்தீங்கன்னா
எஸ் கமிட்டி எஸ்
அதுல கூட போட்டு விடுங்க. அவங்க ஆட்சி if they have separate groupனா easily they can do. இப்பதான் work from home option இருக்குல, அவங்கள easily they will do. That's what I'm saying. All are well educated, so definitely they can adapt to it. Give them an opportunity. That's all I can. Yeah.
So friends, so thank you so much. Idode continuation will have very soon, in 2 weeks time. So Raman sonna mari that's going to be about IoT. So let's look forward to it. So thank you all for joining today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you everybody.